Hello everyone, good evening. It's day 20 and tonight we'll be doing a Simi Chardonnay from California. This is a Simi Chardonnay. It's about a 140-year-old vineyard and it was started by two brothers. They came to this country in 1876 and they opened their first vineyard opened it up in 1876 and two brothers passed away the same year in '04, and Giuseppe's daughter, Isabel, took over the vineyard. And it's an interesting story because, she, at age 18, she takes over the vineyard. And 14 years later, Prohibition comes. So she sits there and she sells off everything but to keep the cellars. She wanted to keep the cellar, figuring the Prohibition would be over in a year or two. 15 years later, Prohibition's over, but now she's sitting on 500,000 bottles of wine. So she's ready. Everybody has to make the wine. She's already has it. She hit the road running, and within a year, she opened up the first retail store, wine tasting, in 1934, and away she went. And then she retired in '75 and sold to a very sharp Alexander Green, who's a very good grower and sold to a competent person. And now she has a top wine maker who's also a woman who does a fabulous job. So the Chardonnay, the glass we're going to use, now most Chardonnays you should drink 55 to 60 degree temperature. That's the temperature they should be. And I myself, I like a Chardonnay or a white wine when it's still light out. If it's late summer evening, I'm sitting on a deck, 5, 6 o'clock at night, sun's going. I prefer a white. And then when the sun goes down, I'll switch to the red. But we'll start off with the white. Simi is a nice white wine. And it comes from the Russian River region of Sonoma. Now, the Russian River, like when we say you can buy a Malbec, you can't get hurt. With Russian rivers, they can be all different prices, but it's an excellent region for a Chardonnay grape because the Russian River, you got the ocean breezes coming off, you got the rolling hills with the ocean breezes and the morning fog that comes in, clears out in the afternoon, brightens them up, and it's perfect for the grape. You got volcanic ash underneath that ground out there also, so it adds to a lot. It works. It's with a grape. There's two things. There's the soil we're putting it in, the natural area, because you can't do it everywhere. It has to fit the grape. Like Simi makes their red grapes up in Alexander Valley, not down there, because it's a difference. The soil's different, the temperature's different, the afternoon breezes. So now, if you see, this is it's a fairly, more than, let's say, a Pinot or something, or Sauvignon Blanc. It's a little more straw yellow or a little more golden. Now, they're noted for their fruits. Okay, the Sonoma wines. Like, one of my favorite wines is Sonoma-Cutrer. Now, Sonoma-Cutrer is Russian River also. Now, Sonoma-Cutrer makes three vineyards. They make a Les Perrier, they make an estate, and they make the regular. Now, each one of those wines has a totally different, not totally different, but a slightly different taste and a slightly different price. I mean, a little more than slightly on a couple of them. But Long is a good one. But because of these times, we're trying to go with the $15 range bottle of wine. Some can be 10. You could get this maybe 11, 12. Might pay 14. But it's in that range. And it's a twist off. So you don't have to worry about hurting yourself with a corkscrew. Now we're going to do, I was thinking, we got to exercise a little more. So we're going to do a 20-second twirl, and we're going to try to be, ambidextrous at this. And then we go to the other hand. And then we do a twirl there. And let's see what we got here for aroma. See, it's not going to be as big as a red because it's cold. You're going to have, you can smell some tangerine, some lemon, but the taste comes. Taste is, it's a little crisp, like an apple-ish, but it's full body, flavor. And this is the type of glass you want to use. Chardonnay, you want the center of the glass to come up, so when the midsection, when you get to the midsection, it goes right to the. This is a nice clean, crisp, a little bit of apple. You would also drink, might have to add a little to this, it might be a little low. Now, this is excellent with fish, pork, chicken. It's not extremely sensitive wine. You can, have a pepper chicken, but nice light cheese, tortellini, white cheese, or asparagus, or grilled vegetables, mushrooms. This wine would complement anything. It's very well balanced. It's clean. Very little butter and slight oak. Just like a kiss of oak. Not big, just a slight kiss of oak. You'll see some Chardonnays. I'm seeing also in California, almost all your Chardonnays used to be oak, and then they switched to steel barrels. Then they'll do steel, they'll do oak. Now, the wine we had yesterday was a reserva. Usually reservas, minimum 2 years oak, 6 weeks in a bottle. Some of these they can produce them faster, and they move the process along. But it's a Chardonnay. You can do that where you're not working with with red and you're sitting on it longer. These wines are made to kind of pop and pour, but you can sit on them. You can have these wines 6, 7, 8 years in the cellar. Not a problem at all. Well, I like it. It's a good one. We'll have to go again tomorrow night. I was thinking maybe we'll do another white. Now, we're not going to do champagnes until we go over the apex. Once we get over the apex, we're popping the cork. But listen, until then, let's not forget, always have in our minds our loved ones, our friends, the people on the front line, the doctors, the nurses, the people working in stores, the checkout people, the amount of people that are going to work so we can continue to live our life as normal as we can is my hat's off. And God bless them all, and thank you very much to all our first responders. See you day 21 tomorrow. Thank God and good night.